Myasthenia gravis, we're having the second session now.
We are indeed.
What are we going to work on? What's happened since the last session, first of all?
Right. Since the last session, I've definitely noticed some change. And just a quick reminder, I'd also started this course of immunosuppressants, but I've only had one course of it because then I picked up a chest infection, so I haven't been back to the second one. And they said to me all the way through this, it's going to take about 7 weeks onwards before you'll start noticing any. So
Mhm.
any changes that have happened up till now, we cannot really attribute to the immunosuppressants because
Do you remember
they
what
were
time the last session was? 3 or 4 weeks ago, wasn't it?
it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So um, things I've noticed which have definitely been different around my mouth. Um, the muscles seem to be working better. I'm able to eat with more ease and move food around my mouth and chew. I keep my lips closed. My neck seems to be better because it's all the muscles from sort of like the neck coming forwards to the lips. They're called bulbar muscle,
Hmm.
and those seem to be affected the most. But there's definitely been an improvement there, and I can't really attribute it to anything else, as I said, because nothing else has had a chance to kick in yet, and there've been no other lifestyle changes or anything like that. I have been on holiday to Spain, only for like a weekend trip. Um, but I felt the same before I went as when I came back after. Sometimes a bit of sun can make a difference. So there's been no other real significant changes. So there
Hmm.
has been some improvement, which I think we can only attribute to the work that you and I did last time.
Hmm. Good. And what is it that you would like to improve this time?
Um, well, I think certainly in terms of um, getting the muscles working better, that would be good.
Mhm.
But I'm also aware of the perhaps the levels of stress that have caused this to come into being in the first place.
Hmm.
And I'm a big believer of going back and sorting those things out. And as you know from our previous session, there's certain things that have gone on in my life before, things about around my daughter, um, which have caused a large amount of stress. So I think maybe some work around resolving those things might be applicable.
Hmm. Okay. So that's what you would think will have the
Well,
most
those are
impact
the
for
sort
you.
of yeah, those two areas. The ongoing work, which seems to be working really well, getting all the muscles to work,
Hmm.
and the feelings that came out of the stress, which I think has a ripple effect throughout everything else that's gone on in my life. I mean, don't get me wrong, I consider myself to have a very good life in many ways, but when you've got something like that that's always you're just aware of the whole time, and when it's something to do with a child, you can't just walk away from it. You
Hmm.
can't just let it go and put it behind you because it's your child.
Yeah.
Nobody can just let go of the love they have for their child.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like finding a way to integrate that with what you have to do in life.
Mm. Yeah. So are you talking about regression?
Possibly, yes, yeah,
Possibly.
yeah,
Okay.
quite possibly, yeah, yeah.
No.
And you and I've talked about um, past life regression before, and I'm quite open to that
Mhm.
because I think sometimes, well, one thing I've noticed, not just me, but with a lot of people, there seems to very often be a sense that the things that happen in our lives, we tend to take it very personally, as if there was something that's gone on before this life. This kind of feeling that, oh, I must have
Mm.
done something really bad in a previous life to get this.
Mm.
Whether that is true or not, I don't know. But I think that's a valid model for how the mind works. We attribute it to other things. Whether those things are real or imaginary, I don't know. And you know what? I don't think it matters. Because if we're basing our life on that model, then let's use that model.
Mm. Yeah.
So I'm open to anything. I'd be fascinated to see what
What comes
you do.
out? Well, we certainly have the
it turns
time.
out.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's the magic wand question? What do you want your life to be like after this session? Or what would you like to, or what do you want to achieve through this session, regardless of whether it's realistic or not? Because we've had a
Yeah,
discussion about, is this realistic or not?
yeah,
Whatever we're
yeah,
trying to achieve
yeah.
or
I,
not.
I, I, I would love to be symptom free
Mm-hmm.
above all else.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think that's realistic. I think that's achievable because I've been almost symptom free a few times before,
Mm-hmm.
but then things have flared back up. Um, but yeah, I'd like to be symptom free, and I'd like to resolve some of the things from the past perhaps a bit better than I have done. I've
Mm-hmm.
always felt that I have resolved things okay,
Mm-hmm.
but of late, certainly in the last few weeks, I'm looking back at, and not just that, that sort of episode around my daughter, the whole parental alienation thing, but I've
Mm-hmm.
even started looking at things that have gone on right back to childhood in a very, very different light. And I consider I had a very, very good childhood, but I
Mm-hmm.
still think there are some things there which have affected me and made me respond to things in the recent past in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there needs to be some resolution of those things as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
But
didn't
to be
know.
clear,
Yeah.
I've
Good.
got no recollection of any abuse or violence or accidents or anything like that. So I don't think there's anything
No, that
hidden
doesn't
that
have to
might.
happen anyway.
No,
No. No.
no,
Yeah.
just yeah. I'm just aware that other people might be watching. Um,
Yeah.
so I have no expectations of anything that's been hiding away or anything like that. But I've come to view my upbringing, especially dynamic between my parents and the way my mother spoke about my father in a very different way. I've come to realize that's probably had more of an effect on me than I imagined before.
Okay. Right. Good. Okay. Right. You ready to resolve this?
Absolutely.
Just imagine your mind floating back up, just shooting up into the sky. Now, as your body keeps being energized by the ground, by the earth, and it will keep on being energized all the way through this session, storing the energy, storing all the power that it needs, and opening any channels of energy that needs to move to work perfectly. As this keeps going on and on through the entire session for your body, your mind is now up, all the way up, suspended, floating. Just moving further and further up, and just imagine how you're moving towards bright light. As you move further up, you can feel yourself being pulled up to this beautiful light. And even though we sometimes feel like space might be cold, it's actually feeling so comfortable, warm, and again, surrounding you. Just allowing you to float. That's it. And feeling absolutely wonderful. So as you float closer towards that light, you might feel that light pulling you towards it. Closer and closer. Till you become part of that light. You're inside that light. And just imagine how bright, how golden, how light it might be. That's it. Just imagine that light shining on you from all sides, surrounding you, wrapping you in its arms. Just enjoy that moment. Just imagine all the joy, the love, the unconditional love that light has to offer you. Just pay attention to what else you might discover in this light. Who else you might discover in this light. That's it. As you keep discovering things up there, you might start to understand what it is you've come to solve. And of course, you're allowed to ask any question. There's no limit to the questions you're allowed to ask. Any question you have will be answered with love. Even if it's not with words, it might just be an understanding that you have all of a sudden what it is that happened, what it is that caused whatever it is you have. Just go ahead and listen for answers to questions you have, to questions you didn't even know you had. Just feel that understanding now. The more I am silent, the more answers will come to you. That's it. As you're asking for questions, for answers, asking questions to get answers. You may also get memories that have the answer, memories that can help you solve those issues. as those memories come up, allow yourself to get a deep understanding of what it is that happened, why it happened. Allow yourself to experience that memory from the outside so you can look at it from a different perspective this time. And any memory that comes up, you can solve with all the love that's surrounding you, that's moving through you. This unconditional love and understanding that you feel, that joy in the light. As you've solved a memory, you can rewrite it. And you can let it go again. With love, with thanks, gratefulness. It might not be just one, it might be 2 or 3 or 100 memories, and each one of them you can look at with the same love, understanding for all the people involved, for all the things that happened. From the outside, from your new vantage point. That's it. Memory, any other feelings, images, thoughts, emotions, or sensations that come up there in the light. Just let them come up. If you want to have one more look at them, one more bit of attention for them, and then you can just let them go and dissolve into the light. Love, gratefulness, and understanding. Let them all come up, let them go, floating into the light. When they're all gone, I'd like you to give me a nod so that I know they're all gone. Them all come up and let them go and float into the light. As you let them float into the light, feel every part of your body that just let go, being filled up with love, understanding, and joy. All that space that used to be taken up by those old feelings, images, thoughts, emotions, and sensations that you used to hold on to, that you've now let go, that you're still letting go of. All that space you're creating, let that be filled with the light, with the love, with the understanding and joy of the place you're at, the light. Beautiful. I like to move even closer to the light, to the center of the light. Now that you've let all of that go, now you're being filled. Just feel yourself being filled with that light, with that joy, with that understanding and happiness, and that freedom that you've now got. And as you are being filled with that love, unconditional love, the freedom, the joy, feel a little inner smile starting as your body is feeling all that love, the joy. Notice the experience. As you're moving closer to the light, as the light becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. Feel yourself becoming a part of that light. As if you are dissolving into the light yourself, just feel that. And feel how amazing that is. Just experience that now, how you how you are part of the light. There is no border, no separation between you and that light. You are light. You are unconditional love. You are joy. You are gratefulness. You are forgiveness and understanding. And feel how up there that is all you are, and you are all. And as you are all, any questions you had can be answered by all, by you, by this beautiful light, by the source energy, by whoever it is that comes to step out of the light for you. And now that you are all, you have all the answers. You can solve all problems and understand that when you go back, it will be so much easier to know, to feel calm, to have this inner calm, the joy. When you come back, you will be taking this beautiful feeling of joy and unconditional love and understanding. You'll take it back with you as a baseline. As you're feeling this joy, love, understanding, gratefulness, feel it turning up inside your body and feel it filling every cell, every fiber, every bit of your being, every part of your physical body. All the way out, see yourself shining, exuding that love, joy, gratefulness, forgiveness, calm. In your body, in your mind, in your soul. And know that this will now be your new baseline. Just feel into your body and notice that. Love, the joy, the understanding is filling you up so much that there is no room for anything else. So the requests that you had to be symptom-free, that will naturally be occurring. All be resolved. Now that you've let go of so many things of the past, of whatever it was that had been stuck inside you, now that that's all gone, so much space for healing, and in fact that light, that energy that you're in is healing. Just feel it healing your body as it's filling you, as it's filling you up. So your body is just a big tank for light, for energy, and it is. Just imagine all the power that light has in your body to heal, to change those cells to the way they're supposed to be. That's right. To get you to a healthy baseline of love and joy, contentment, gratefulness, and happiness. Just imagine yourself bathing in this light, being filled up with this light, being surrounded and filled by this light and energy. Realize that any time you want to go back to this place, you can. You can just imagine yourself being there. You'll be there, filling yourself up, filling your tank with energy. When you know that you have enough answers, enough energy, enough light. And only then, when you know that you have enough so that you can be symptom-free and that you've resolved those issues of the past that were holding you back before. When you know for certain that you will be symptom-free very soon, you've filled your tanks and have enough energy for today, for tomorrow, for the next few weeks and months. And when you know for certain that you'll be able to return to this place and get more of that energy at any time you like, you can come back down to your room, into your body, and feel absolutely amazing, healthy, happy, full of love.
Wow, that was deep.
Told you.
Whoa. How long was that?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
30 minutes, maybe? I don't know. Couldn't
that, I
tell you.
think.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
we're probably closer to 45. Whoa, yeah. Oh,
How are you
excuse me.
feeling?
Sorry. Oh, very, very restful, very, very comfortable, comfortable with a lot of things from the past, comfortable with a lot of the things as they are, and much more positive about the future.
Good. Did anything come up then?
Oh God, yeah, I don't know where to begin.
Don't have to tell you don't have to tell me. You
No,
can. You don't
it's,
have to.
the I mean, I think everybody experiences hypnosis differently. But with me, when you're talking, a lot of it is just like word salad,
Hmm.
and words are just flowing. But then there are certain words that you kind of pick out, like you cherry picking these words, and then you run with that word for a little while. It'll take you to a certain memory, to a certain time in your life, or whether it's a problem or a resource or whatever it might be. And you're just able to go back there. And then
Mm.
that kind of just like fades. And then I'm more aware of your words again. And it's more word salad. Most of it doesn't have any relevance. But then another word comes up. And
Words. Yes. Sorry.
you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. And
it,
the word salad comes from a different context, but yeah.
it does, yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's kind of what it's like because most of it is not directly relevant to what I seem to be going through. But then
Mm.
every now and again, a particular word stands out. It has salience. It just sort of floats to the surface, and then you go with that, and then that thought fades away. And then you go onto another one. And I had some very interesting and peculiar images coming on as well. There was an image of what I can only describe as shifting sand,
Hmm.
and it was like a large mass of sand. I didn't quite relate it to a desert, more like a planet than anything else, I suppose.
Okay.
And this sand was shifting, and then a little bit later on, and I don't know what to make of this. There was some little creature, and I don't know if it was like an insect or like a small mammal I got the impression it was like an armadillo, like a
Hmm.
hard sort of outer, so that made me think of an insect perhaps. And it was scurrying along, and it was holding something, it was carrying something, and it was like a piece of technology, but which I kind of related to being a camera. I don't know why.
Oh, I
Like a
don't
very
know where to go. Sorry. Yes.
yeah. I don't know what that means,
Yeah.
but
I don't know either.
this takes me back to mindscaping, Mike Mandel's mindscaping, where the mind makes up its own metaphors. And of course, with a metaphor, you should never overanalyze it and try to work out what it was about, because the metaphor, like a dream, has already done its job.
Yeah.
And and the interesting thing was that little creature that was carrying that thing was seen to be it wasn't sand, it was more like really, really fine gravel, almost like a desert environment. And
Hmm.
then it dropped this thing there and scurried off. And I picked this piece of technology, but like a really, really small camera, smaller than like a GoPro. I don't know what it would be, almost like a little spy camera or something, I suppose.
Hmm.
But it wasn't just that. It was, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting experience. And interestingly, a lot of it was about things from my past and my upbringing. And we did talk about that
Hmm.
beforehand, but the balance of it was about that, not so much about the symptoms or the symptoms disappearing.
Hmm.
But what came through, especially towards the end, was a desire to be active, to move, for physicality, for
Hmm.
that sort of physical strength. And that's something I'm aware of with myasthenia gravis. You need to make a lot of effort to keep yourself moving, because the less you move, the worse it becomes.
Hmm.
So I know that anyway, but that kind of came through on this, and there was almost like a desire, almost like, right, let's stop the hypnosis session now and go for a walk or something like that. It was kind of like that strong a feeling.
Hmm.
And that was kind of interesting.
There you go. Then you know what to do in a minute.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Well, that was a kind of a content-free spiritual hypnosis, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't feel like taking you to a past life for some reason.
well, you just got to do what you feel is right at the time, don't you? And um, the idea of the light that was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very fulfilling,
Hmm.
because I kind of took that as being a light that's always been there, which perhaps I haven't noticed in the past.
Hmm.
And it's like that. I think you were kind of describing it. I don't remember too much because you don't with hypnosis. You don't remember everything. But a sort of a light above and being drawn up to the light. But at the same time, the light seemed to come from within, and I was being drawn within. And just, how you resolve those two ideas in your head, I just do not know. But it was kind of like being drawn up and drawn in at the same time. That
Hmm.
makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. To me anyway. I mean, the what usually happens when you do a past life regression and go through the death scene, you can go up to the light. That's exactly what people describe who have near-death experiences. They go
Yeah.
towards a light source and they feel being pulled. And that's exactly what you do in a past life session or after the death.
Right.
And while you can understand a lot of things within the past life, while you're still in that scene or
Yeah.
in that life, you understand a bit more when you're already outside the body, and you
Hmm.
understand even more when you're up at the light because you can kind of
Right.
overview all your past lives and all that stuff
Right.
going on in your life. Get like a
Interesting.
top-down view. Yeah, yeah, it is,
Mm,
isn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you can learn something at your ripe
Oh,
old
we
age.
never stop learning. Never ever stop learning. We
No,
all we all learn from each other. We all learn different things, and yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's a wonderful thing about life.
you
Yeah.
out. Yeah, you do. But you can go back there if you want. I mean, do you felt energized, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Superb. Because you can go back there anytime you go back into self-hypnosis. You can imagine yourself back in that light and you will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with myasthenia, of course, you lose energy because you don't have as many um of the receptors, correct? No, they're all taken by
Yeah.
those
They get blocked.
antibodies. Yeah,
Occasionally.
they're blocked. So you have less energy, so you feel more tired. So that
Mm.
is a way of visualizing that changing.
Yeah.
That's why I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see how that goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. That was a really quite. And we spoke off camera before
Mm,
we started recording. I wasn't feeling particularly well this morning, and I didn't know whether hypnosis was going to be possible, really, because I just didn't feel well. But then, having spoken to you for a few minutes and then getting into it, it just felt the right thing to do.
mm.
And yeah, I feel a lot better in and of myself than I did before. So hopefully
Good.
that'll have some positive effect on that as well.
Well, that's going to continue and continue, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going
Yeah.
to feel every day in every way, you'll be feeling better and better.
Yeah, a bit of Emile Coué.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. Okay, shall I stop the recording?
Sounds like a good place to pause. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.